What if I told you that you could turn a few dollars into thousands or even millions without winning the lottery or working 80 hours a week? It sounds impossible, right? But it's not. It is a force so powerful that Albert Einstein supposedly called it the eighth wonder of the world. It's called compound growth. This is the quiet, almost invisible secret behind every wealthy investor, every successful entrepreneur, and every major financial success story you've ever heard. In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how compound growth works, why time is your greatest weapon, and how you can start using it today to build real, lasting wealth, even if you're starting with almost nothing. And you'll definitely want to stick around until the end, because the final example I'm going to share will completely change the way you see money forever. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is compound growth? The simplest way to think about it is this. It's your money earning money, and then that new money earning even more money. It's a feedback loop of growth. Imagine you plant a small apple seed. After some time, it grows into a tree and starts producing apples. Now, you have a choice. You can either eat all the apples, or you can take the seeds from those apples and plant them. If you keep planting the seeds from each new harvest, soon you won't just have one tree, you'll have an entire orchard. That is compound growth in action. In finance, it works the same way. Your initial investment, your principal, earns returns like interest or dividends. But instead of taking that money out, you reinvest it. Now, your principal is bigger. In the next period, you earn returns not just on your original investment, but also on the returns you already earned. It's growth on top of growth, and it creates a powerful snowball effect. So, what's the magic formula to unlock this power? It's surprisingly simple. Time plus consistency. The most common misconception about building wealth is that you need a lot of money to start. But that's not true. Compound growth isn't about how much you start with, it's about how long you let it grow. Let's look at a classic example with two friends, Anna and Ben. Anna starts investing $100 a month at age 25. She does this for just 10 years and then stops completely, never adding another penny. Now, who do you think has more money at age 65? It has to be Ben, right? He invested way more money for a much longer period. But you'd be wrong. Assuming a 7% average annual return, Anna, who only invested for 10 years and stopped, would have around $170,000. Ben, who invested for 30 years, would only have about $122,000. How is that possible? Because Anna's money had an extra 10 years to compound. Those early years are the most powerful. Time is the secret ingredient. This is why you always hear the saying, "The best time to start investing was yesterday. The next best time is today." I love to describe compound growth as the snowball effect. Picture a tiny snowball at the top of a very long, snowy hill. As you give it a little push, it starts rolling. At first, it's small and slow. It picks up a little bit of snow, but you can barely see a difference. For a long, long time, it feels like nothing is happening. It's just this small, insignificant ball of snow rolling down a hill. This is where most people give up. They get impatient, they don't see the explosive results they were promised, and they walk away. But if you have the patience to let it keep rolling, something incredible starts to happen. As it gets bigger, it picks up more snow with every rotation. The bigger it gets, the faster it grows. Suddenly, it's not just picking up a little bit of snow, it's gathering huge amounts. It gains momentum, becoming an unstoppable avalanche of wealth. That's exactly how compounding works with your money. The first 5, even 10 years can feel painfully slow. Your growth seems almost invisible. But then, the curve starts to bend upwards, and the growth becomes exponential. The key is patience. You have to stick with it long enough to see the magic happen. Now for that example, I promised. This is a classic thought experiment that perfectly illustrates the mind-bending power of compounding. Imagine I offered you a choice. You can have $1 million, right here, right now, in cash. Or you can take a single penny that doubles in value every day for 30 days. Which one would you choose? Most people, without hesitation, would take the $1 million. A penny seems worthless, and $1 million is life-changing. Let's see if they made the right choice. If you picked the penny, here's what your journey would look like. After the first week, on day 7, you'd have a measly 64 cents. But this is where the snowball starts to get massive. On day 21, it doubles to over $10,000. Day 25, you're at over $167,000. Still not a million, but things are getting serious. And then, in the last 5 days, the explosion happens. Day 28, $1.3 million. Day 29, $2.6 million. And on the final day, day 30, your single penny has grown to over $5.3 million. That's the sheer jaw-dropping power of compounding. It starts incredibly slow, but the growth at the end is absolutely massive. So, how do you actually use this in your own life? You don't need to be a Wall Street genius or have a fortune to begin. You just need to start. Here are the simple steps. First, start as early as you possibly can. As we saw with Anna and Ben, even small amounts invested early can outperform large amounts invested later. Time is your unfair advantage. Second, be consistent. Set up automatic investments, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. Whatever you can afford, make it a non-negotiable habit, like paying a bill. Consistency is what keeps the snowball rolling. Third, always reinvest your returns. This is the compounding part of compound growth. When you get dividends or your investments grow in value, don't cash them out. Let them stay in your account so they can start earning money for you too. Fourth, be incredibly patient. The first few years will test you. It will feel like you're making no progress. This is normal. The real, exciting growth comes later. Don't get discouraged. And finally, avoid interruptions. Every time you withdraw money from your investments, you're not just taking out that cash. You're hitting the reset button on its growth potential. You're shrinking your snowball. Compounding is a long-term game. The longer you stay invested and let it do its thing, the more unstoppable it becomes. But here's something that most people miss. Compound growth isn't just about money. This principle applies to every single area of your life. Your skills, your knowledge, your health, your relationships. Think about it. If you commit to improving just 1% every day, whether that is reading 10 pages of a book, doing a 15-minute workout, or practicing a new skill, it doesn't seem like much. But that tiny, consistent effort compounds. After 1 year, you won't be 365% better. Because of compounding, you'll be over 37 times better than when you started. That's the power of compounding in your life. True success, deep knowledge, and lasting wealth are all built in the exact same way. Slowly at first, and then all at once. So, what's the biggest mistake people make on this journey? It's simple. They stop too soon. They get excited, they start investing for a few months or maybe a year, they look at their account, and they don't see the life-changing results they were hoping for. They get bored, they get impatient, and they quit. But compounding does not reward impatience. It rewards discipline and commitment. Think of it like this. The first 5 years of investing are a test of your discipline. Can you stick to the plan even when it's boring? The next 10 years are a test of your patience. Can you resist the urge to meddle and just let it grow, even when the market goes up and down? But after that, something magical happens. Your money starts doing all the heavy lifting for you. You reach a point where the returns your money generates in a single year are more than the money you're contributing. That's when you know you've won the game. If you stay consistent, time becomes your greatest ally. So let's bring it all together. The incredible power of compound growth is fundamentally simple. Small, smart choices, made consistently over a long period of time, lead to massive, life-altering results. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. In fact, it's the opposite. It's a get-rich-for-sure strategy. It's about letting time and consistency work their magic. Start small, stay consistent, be patient, and one day, you'll wake up and realize that your money is working harder for you than you ever worked for it. If this video opened your eyes to the true power of compound growth, do me a favor and hit that like button. Subscribe for more content that will help you build a better financial future. And share this with someone you care about who needs to start investing today. And I want to hear from you in the comments. What's one small step you can take this week to start your own compounding journey? Because remember, time waits for no one, but it rewards those who start now. Thanks for watching.